so excited. We're so excited to have you on the show, Marita. Thank you so much for coming today. You are actually our first guest that we've ever had on Gossip in the Closet. So thank you so much for coming in.
No way. I didn't know that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Gossip in the closet.
Marita was actually on a recent reality show called The Queer-Ultimatum. Now, if you haven't watched The Queer-Ultimatum, I don't know what kind of side TikTok or podcast you're on. It's the wrong side because you should have watched it already by now. So The Queer-Ultimatum is basically when couples that are struggling because one of them wants to get married and the other one is having
Reservations.
Let's call it, reservations. So they go onto the show, one of them issues an ultimatum, which means they actually become single within the experiment. Isn't that right, Marita?
Right, yes.
And they choose someone else to go on a trial marriage with, and then they go on a trial marriage with their actual original partners. And then they have to make a huge decision at the end. And that decision is whether they're going to commit to their original partner, be single, or continue on with the partner they met on the show.
Yes.
So we're going to introduce Marita and she's going to tell you a lot more about it, isn't she?
Yeah, brilliant. So we're just so excited to have you on the show, Marita. We obviously think that you are such a genuine, loving, happy, positive person. And that's why you're perfect, really, to come on the show.
Absolutely.
To be our first guest.
I completely
So
agree
just to
with
start us off, because for anyone that doesn't know who you are, which I'm sure everybody does that's listening, but who are you? Where are you from? And tell us, how did you guys decide to go on the show? Like, what came about and how did you get to go onto the show?
Yeah, so to everybody listening, my name is Marita. I was on The Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. I went into it with my partner at the time, Ashley, and I'm originally from California. I lived in St. Petersburg, Florida for about 10 years, and I recently just relocated back to LA. So I went into the experience with my partner. We were together for 5 years. And I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about love. I learned about what I deserve, and I wouldn't change the experience for the world.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Glad to hear that. So how did you guys come on the show? Like, how did that kind of come about in the first place?
Yeah, so Ashley had a friend in Nashville that somebody from casting reached out to her, and then she referred us as a couple. So at first it was kind of a joke. We were like, let's just see where this gets us. We're probably not going to get picked. And then the more that we talked to the producers, the more that we uncovered about ourselves and our relationship, it just became more and more interesting to production, like our story and everything that comes with it. So that's kind of how it happened. It really wasn't supposed to be like, we didn't expect to actually be casted and actually do it. But at the same time, I am so grateful that we were, because we were at a crossroads. Ashley and I were together for a while, and I knew I wanted to get married to her. She wanted to marry me, but it was we were also very much unhappy. And it was I needed more romance from my partner, and she needed more validation that she was doing enough. But for me, it just that wasn't what I needed. That to me was barely the bare minimum.
No, you definitely had different expectations, what I could see on the show.
Exactly. Yeah. And so basically she was basically this is the way that I am. Marry me how I am, or don't marry me at all. And for me, it was do I settle and possibly be happy, or could I actually see my worth and know what I deserve from a partner and not feel as empty as I had been? So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really important. It's an important message to put out there that, there are certain requirements and certain needs that we all want and desire in a relationship, and we shouldn't settle for anything less. And once you've made that clear to your partner and they can't live up to that, sometimes it's sometimes it's a hard truth to kind of come and realize that actually it kind of just means that this is just not going to work.
Yeah.
And that must have been quite a difficult thing for you to, I guess, accept in the end, as a couple, that for some reason she could not meet your needs and that you deserved more, essentially.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it wasn't like big gestures or crazy things that I was asking for. I was really just asking for consideration and like love at the end of the day. And I feel like she just had a threshold of like what she was able to give. And that was my point. It's just like, that wasn't how a relationship should feel. Like, it didn't feel like she was my girlfriend. It felt like we were roommates or like friends. And like, to me, I'm a hopeless romantic. So I want to feel the love. I want to give the love. Like, I kept filling her cup and I was like, when is it going to be my turn? Can she even get there? So that was like the question going in.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously anyone that has watched the show will know that in the end that did mean that you guys weren't meant to be, and that you didn't get married, and that you didn't, that the proposal didn't go ahead. In terms of where you're at with Ashley right now, I know that obviously you guys didn't, like, there's no contact or anything like that. Are you guys, what is the situation with you guys right now? What do you hope happens now moving forward for you?
Honestly, like a couple weeks ago, it was getting to a point where like it was this battle between us, and it just was immature and unhealthy. Like, everything that we talked about from the reunion and like the things that have happened in our past should have been private conversations. Like, we didn't need to go to social media and like battle each other, because it's not who I am. Like, I feel like what happened to me, I don't want it to follow me forever. And so I did recently talk to her, and like we decided just to like stop talking about it, stop talking about each other. Even though like it's still part of my story, and like I understand that the show and everything that just happened is still relevant. However, there's so much more out there and in store for me and for her, but like separately. Like, we don't always need to like be latching on to this awful instance that happened,
Yeah, it's going to be traumatizing for you, and obviously because it was so public and because everyone was watching, I bet it feels like a broken record kind of thing, and you're having to continue to explain the situation. So hopefully that won't continue.
Yeah, you guys have agreed to put it to bed, and I think that's probably the best way to move forward now.
Absolutely.
I think it's really nice that you've had that conversation and you've agreed that, there's only so much you can talk about that, and that's really good.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're at, and it feels better than like being each other's enemies. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, definitely love that. So another thing I really wanted to ask you, because there's one thing that was quite unique to your experience compared to like the other cast members, were that you actually ended up in a trial marriage with Britney, who you didn't choose.
Right.
And you guys, it was strange really, because you had a connection with AJ and then you ended up with AJ's partner. And how did it feel, and how did you guys actually move forward and create such a good connection off of the back of that?
I loved your connection, can I just say? Like, that
the oxtail as well.
The oxtail, we're quarter Jamaican, we loved it. So yeah,
tell us a bit about
that was a character development also, can I just say, Marita, because at first it was like, we like Marita, but we're not sure. Also, I've got dyslexia, so I was calling you Margarita. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, oh my god, we've got Margarita on the show. It was just like a little personal joke, but like with your character development, like we loved like the wholesome vibes, the sort of kindness in your relationship with each other.
It's lovely, yeah. Explain that to us.
Yeah. Well, first of all, a ton of my friends call me Margarita, so you're not alone in that. Yeah, it's like it's one of my signature names. But
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, like I think that everything happens for a reason, and fate was on our side that night, because had I had gone through a trial marriage with AJ, I just feel like my experience would have been so much different. And like being with Britney, it was like she and I just ending up together randomly like that was like an act of like the universe. Like we needed each other, and like it felt like our energy together was so powerful, and we're both lovers, and we talked about some deep, deep stuff, and we got like very vulnerable with each other about like our past and like what we deserve out of this life and everything like that. And it was awkward at first because yes, like I did have a connection with AJ, and I was a little butthurt. Like I think everybody can kind of see that. I was like, what do you mean? But at the end of the day, like I remember seeing AJ in the gym like 2 days after the choice. And like we hugged it out. It was like no hard feelings. But with Britney, I feel like we just had to like sit down and figure out what we were going to get out of this experience, because for a little bit there, it felt like we were thrown into this situation where it's like, well, now what? Like, is this still going to be what we need to say yes to our partners at the end of the day? So yeah, so we grabbed some wings from across the street, headed up to the pool, and just like sat down together, and we were like, all right, let's dive in. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your like childhood trauma? Like, you know, like we just like went into all of it. And even before we were put together on a trial marriage, like we had one speed date. And I remember we talked about Bayo, her bunny. We talked about rollerblading. We talked about like really good energetic concepts. And like we knew each other were like, we knew we liked each other, but like we never saw a connection because it just didn't occur to us. Like we were focusing on other people. But the more we got to know each other, the more we just loved each other. Like honestly, we had such a connection, and like still to this day, like I think of her as my wifey. Like we didn't have any problems. We spent those 3 weeks just happy girls, just getting to know each other, and like she taught me so much about love. Like that girl is a lover through and through, but at the same time, she didn't do much. She like the bar for me was very, very low, and like Britney's like just general energy and what she brought to my everyday life was exactly what I needed to be like, honestly, this is what I deserve. Like she's not doing this grand gesture. She's just like thinking of me. She's considering me. So I think that's what really made that like switch for me. It's like she has this energy, and like that's what I want around me in a partner. So I learned a lot about like myself, what I deserve, and like the love that I want out of somebody.
Oh, I love that. And we really could see that on the show. Like it was beautiful. I feel like you guys out of a lot of the couples did it really well. Yeah. That was what it was meant to look like. And you guys had your results in the end, and it both worked out in different ways. But you know, that was what the experiment was about. So I love that. I love that.
No, I like it because lots of people say everything happens for a reason, and I really, really do agree with what you're saying there. That must have gone like that for a reason for you.
It opened your eyes.
It opened your eyes to being around people that fuel you, that actually make you feel good about yourself. And it's important that you put yourself around those people. And she 100% seems like that.
She definitely did that. I love that about that. But anyway, Marita, just coming away from the show a little bit now, we really want to just know a little bit about you, and especially we would like to know, because we just actually done an episode recently about our coming out journey ourselves. So if you don't mind, a little bit about, you know, how you came out, was that, you know, what that experience was like for you. So yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so what's actually crazy is a couple of days ago, it was my sister's birthday, and my babysitter from like when I was months old until I was like 6 or 7 called me and my sister. And she basically said when I was 3 years old that I grabbed her hand and I asked her to marry me. And like, to me, I started like my eyes started to water because like at 3 years old, I feel like I already knew that I was into women. And so like growing up, I always like looked at the girl kissing the guy, or I was always into like the fashion scenes when they were like changing their clothes and like, you know, like not in a weird way. It's just like I was always for the girls, right? And then coming to college, so I ended up going to all the way across the country. I moved to Florida, and I had already like knew I was gay, but I just didn't tell anyone. And then I met this girl and I started dating her. And my coming out story is interesting because like she basically said like, come out to your family on the phone right now, or, you know, I'm going to break up with you. And I was like, okay, well, that's hard to hear because like I can't wait to tell my family, right? Because like I love my family, we're very close, and I was supposed to see them the next week for Christmas. But she essentially like made me do it in that moment. So what I did is I called one of my parents first, and it wasn't the reaction that I expected. And then for a minute there, I was like told to hide my girlfriend. And then when she ended up visiting, a year later, she was awful to both of my parents, and only one of them knew that she was my girlfriend. And so when I got back to school with her, I get a call from my other parents saying that, you know, my other parent told them that I was gay and I've been hiding it from them. And I was like, no, I wanted to tell you. I was told not to tell you. So it was just this like weird family situation where it was like, I wish I had the opportunity to tell them together so that this wouldn't have happened. But it was kind of hard because it wasn't accepting and loving at first. But since then we've like worked through all of that, and like like both of my parents support me like through and through. Like my mom threw an ultimatum party with all of her Marin mom best friends, and like my dad is the most supportive, loving, like he's always loved me for who I am. So we're past that, but it was a little rough at first.
That's beautiful. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a little rough. People take things in weird ways, and we're young. We don't know how to sort of
articulate ourselves.
Yeah.
You obviously were put in a difficult situation. Your partner should never ever do anything like that to you.
No.
And but what's good is you can look back on that now and be like, I did it. I got over it, and look at where we are now. You know, and
exactly.
That gives people hope. It's difficult coming out.
It is difficult. We had a similar experience. It was weird at the start, but now, like, it's so okay, and everyone is so
I think our mum was quite taken aback at 2 of us coming out, but you know,
exactly. But like at the same time, our parents and their generation grew up so differently than we did. So it's like you kind of have to play devil's advocate in a sense. And like if they're not expecting it, which I don't know how they didn't expect it from me, because like I'm very gay, but like it's almost like a learning curve for them too, to like figure out how to support their daughter or son or non-binary, you know, whatever it may be. Yeah. So it's interesting, but it's never easy. It's never like, I mean, maybe it is. And if it is, then that's great. But like,
amazing.
There's always going to be some sort of conversation that doesn't go as planned. And you just got to work with it. Know that this is your family. Have those tough conversations. But at the end of the day, it should always come back to love.
It should always come back to love. And I think that I've definitely seen a lot of people's experiences where it's been awkward at the start, or it's not planned out the way you liked it. But at the end of the day, you know, when it's unconditional love, there is always a way to figure it out, I think, 100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marita, I know that you've recently moved to LA. You've spoken about
Yes.
this. Tell us a little bit about your new apartment now, like your new friends, like what are we getting up to? Like,
Yeah, what's the future look like? What have you been doing? Any projects? Anything that's going on? Tell us all about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I just got here like this weekend. Last weekend. So it's like we're 4 days in. My life is still in boxes, and that's okay. It's just a little chaotic right now. And I mean, I'm missing all of my best friends out in Florida. Like they are like my home essentially.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about being out here. I know there's so much opportunity out here. I've already met some really, really cool queer women, and I'm excited about like building a friend group out here. But in terms of like entertainment and like singing and stuff like that, there's a lot happening in September that I'm excited about. Lots of projects happening. I'm writing a lot. I'm meeting with different producers and musicians and that kind of thing. There's a couple of other things coming up, like brand deals, like influencer trips, like those kind of things too. So I'm kind of just rolling with the punches, letting whatever happens. I'm going to West Hollywood tonight to dance at the Pink Pony Club. Like there's there's a lot to do here.
You must be tired, girl. You're tired, aren't you?
You're not going to sleep for another year or two, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was. Yeah,
real.
That's another thing is like I love karaoke, and I found out that there's like a dive bar that does karaoke Wednesday nights, like literally in my backyard. So catch me there on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, we'll just get a flight out tomorrow.
That's actually the next part of the episode. So Marita's singing. No,
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, she wasn't really aware of that one. Okay, so obviously we're in a completely new place now, LA. You're meeting new people. Are we dating? Do we use dating apps? What's the situation? Tell us.
So that's kind of something I've been thinking about because, like, in St. Pete, I kind of just like knew my people, and then I would like vibe off of whoever was around me. So I'm more of like an organic type of girl, but like I haven't gotten back on the app since like March or February. But since I'm new here, like maybe I don't know, but I did tell.
Okay, have a new look.
That's exactly. So like on my road trip here, I told my friend Kim that like I'm going to learn the web of LA cuz like, you know, the lesbian web if you know what I'm talking about.
I heard about the lesbian web. We're cleaned up, gal.
Yeah. So I told my friend Kim that I'm going to learn that like web, and then I'm going to be the spider that doesn't touch it. Cuz like
I think that's
because I don't want to get.
Yeah, I really think that's impossible.
I don't want to get too involved with anything crazy, you know? Like I'm just a girl. I'm new.
You're just a girl, honey. Calm down. I feel there's like a London web, and if so, that's gonna look crazy because obviously it's very small, and we are both twins. So
we have to divert left, right, and centre.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, there's been too many close calls. Close calls. It's a bit crazy out here. But yeah, definitely let us know how that goes. I want to see that web. I really want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Right, we're moving on to some queries now, Marita. Are you excited for this?
Okay. I am excited. I can't wait, actually. Yeah.
Listen to Queer-ies spill the tea, and we'll keep it just between you and me.
Let's see what the people have to say.
Let's see what the people have to say. So we've got one, and it's called, "Is my friend being unreasonable?" Okay?
Probably.
Okay. Hey, girlies. Okay, so I'm so stressed right now, so I'm going to get straight into it, okay? I have a friend who I've known for years, okay? But we've only just got close in the last year, after my very intense breakup, which I am slowly healing from. So she said, let's call my friend Emily, because we've got Emily. So Emily has been a good friend since my breakup, and she has a girlfriend called Hannah. These names, okay?
Okay.
It's lovely, and I get on with her maybe even more than I get on with. Okay, so she gets on with the girlfriend better than she gets on with Emily, her actual friend, by the looks of it. And
Gets on how? Like she's interested?
well, it says because we have more similarities, and she's just more my type of girl. We all hang out together often as they don't spend too much time apart. I've even met up with Hannah alone before Emily would finish for work for nights out. Okay, so
she's got really good friends.
Both of them, by the looks of it.
Okay, yes.
The couple.
Yeah, fine. Anyway, they have had some problems in their relationship with communication and understanding, but I have not really got involved, only to give Emily advice now and then. So they're obviously having their own problems.
Right.
Anyway, they have now broken up. And Emily has asked that I block Hannah on everything.
Oh.
Okay. So because she's friends with Emily, Emily's saying block Hannah. I get that
Yeah.
Emily is upset and does not want me to be the best of friends with Hannah, but I still have a good relationship with her. I don't need to be meeting up with Hannah and being her best mate, especially right now, because I have respect for Emily and I'll help her get through the breakup. But blocking Hannah is a little harsh and I don't see the need or want to do it. Is Emily being unreasonable or am I being a bad friend?
That's difficult.
What do we think, girlies? Should she block Hannah?
I think it depends on the context of their relationship and how they ended. 'Cause
yes, I feel
that
like
could.
It didn't seem like it. She didn't mention any cheating or anything crazy going on.
Right.
Because she
Yeah.
would have mentioned that. Because then it would give more context to why she doesn't want her to she wants her to block Hannah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she was only on so far with it.
Personally, like when Ashley and I split, it was hard to know that like some of my friends were still going to be friends with her. But I have never once gone up to somebody and been like, don't be Ashley's friend. Cause like, I don't think that's fair. Like, I think everybody that's friends with whoever your ex may be should be able to have their own relationship. But obviously loyalty should be towards the best friend, you know? But like, I wouldn't say going as far as to like block that person is complete, or like ask somebody to block that person is completely fair, unless there was infidelity, unless there was something that happened that, you know, is not fair in a sense.
Yeah, it seems very toxic to do the whole blocking. Like, you know, me and my ex shared friends in the end. Like, you know, they were her childhood friends, and then I became friends with them. I'm still friends with them to this day. Like, you know, I think it would be unfair, especially because we broke up sort of amicably, but still, like my ex would have never have told her friends, like, block Shelby, like you never speak to her again. I think that's a very toxic way to handle it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But it's exactly like you said. If there was something really significant and she treated her really badly, or there was infidelity, then you can kind of understand why she would be like block her. But if it's not anything like that, and you do think Emily's being unreasonable, speak to her and just say, "I'm not going to block Hannah because I don't actually think Hannah's done anything wrong. That's your two situation. I'll support you, and I'm keeping Hannah on social media."
But she likes Hannah more as well. This is the issue.
She does.
She does. This is the situation. The real situation is you have to decide like who you would prefer to be friends with. You know,
Maybe block Emily
because they was only friends for a year prior. Well, it's not like they're childhood friends. Marita's face is like.
I'm like, this is getting crazy. At the end of the day, I think loyalty to Emily is important because she was there for you. However,
okay, you're right. Yeah.
Right. And like if she likes Hannah, that's great, but like also you have to think of it as like Emily introduced them. So it would be betrayal to Emily if like Hannah and Queer-ie girl became friends and then blocked Emily.
You're so right. Like,
Everyone,
I'm not trying to do a 360,
Shelby's
but
gone
like,
rogue.
block the other girl instead.
I'm the one that said that. I was joking. It was a joke.
Okay.
No, of course, yeah.
Throw your hands up in the air and say, I am not getting involved. That's probably the best way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's also
Okay.
a good way.
We've got time for one more query, guys.
That's one more query, and it's about the family say it's okay to be gay, but why are you still telling me what to wear? So, hi girls, I'm Marita. I'm a 22-year-old. I still live at home with my parents. I've always wore boyish clothes, but my parents always put it down to being sporty. I've always trained at my local football club, and now I do a degree in sports and science. Typical, I know. However, I've always wore dresses at the family events. It's kind of like a family unwritten rule.
Mm-hmm.
I never said anything or made any complaints. However, I am now a full-grown adult, and I've recently come out to my parents, and they are really just okay with it. So I hate to come across like I've had it bad. But why do they still insist on me wearing feminine clothes at a family event that I don't feel comfortable in? I literally never leave the house in a dress or skirt apart from when I go to these one-off family events.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should put my foot down or just go along with it and be happy about it? I've tried to show them alternatives like a tight suit or flared trousers and a top, but they just say, no, wear the dress. Like, what should I do? That's what she's put. She just put, what should I do?
Marita, help us.
I would say just be yourself, and like your family is going to have to accept that. Like, wear what you want to the family function as long as it's appropriate for whatever the occasion is, like dressing up or dressing down or whatever that may look like. It doesn't have to be a dress. It should be whatever you're feeling comfortable in. And if your family can't accept that, then that's another tough conversation like we were talking about earlier. It's just like, this is also a learning curve for them. So I would say like it ties all the way back in, but it's like express who you are through your clothing. And like, as long as it's appropriate, it shouldn't be a question for your family. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that families sometimes you need to give them a bit more of a push or a bit more of a pushback. I think she's giving alternatives, but she's maybe not just standing in her power and saying, listen, like,
This is who I am.
wear a dress.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel comfortable because Mia, you even went through a stage where I think that you would wear, you had more of a boy, they would call it a boyish style, however they want to call it, than me. I would wear a dress to family functions. They would always say to me, why don't you wear something like that?
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it was just my expectation of myself, actually, more than my family, because I don't remember them saying anything, especially when I got older. And I just haven't worn a dress since I was like 19. I haven't worn a dress personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do remember.
I honestly think this girl is maybe actually in her head a little bit. Maybe if the family hasn't made any comments, maybe they actually wouldn't care as long as you turned up looking smart. Maybe it's just something you've always done because that's how you were brought up, but maybe they actually don't care, because I just stopped personally and I never really...
Do you know what I would do? Throw the dresses in the bin, and if they say go away dress, I don't even have one.
Exactly.
There you have it.
I know. That's problem solved.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fine. I would do that. Just stand in your power, wear what you want to wear, and be yourself.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to say, Marita?
Oh my gosh, about this topic or in general? No, I think it just comes down to like expressing who you are, like, at your core, and not apologizing for that, and like just going forward with that. And like also knowing that your family may have a reaction, but that's a conversation that you have to have. Because if you keep pushing yourself under the rug and like folding into these like narratives that you're supposed to look some sort of way, then you're just going to be unhappy. And it's important to look at yourself and like how you want to show up in the world, how you want to present yourself. Because as adults, like nobody, like the only person that controls yourself is you. So even if you think your family has some sort of like hold on you, they really don't. It's just a conversation. It's just getting past that point so that you're happier in the long run.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Love that.
love
That's
that.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Marita, where can we find you on social media? What social media? What's your name, your handle, so that anyone can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Marita Prodger. And then on Spotify, if you want to look up my song, it's called Broke Me by Marita featuring Ill Will. And then more music is to come, I promise. I've been busy unpacking, but we're getting there. I promise.
Amazing. We cannot
Love
wait
that.
to listen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. If you guys want to listen to more episodes, just go to our YouTube, which is Gospel in the Closet. The same with our Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and any other social, TikTok as well. So
We're everywhere, basically.
We're
And just don't
everywhere.
forget to bring your queries to us, and we will answer them right here on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Marita.
Marita, for joining.
Thank
so
you.
much.
It was lovely to speak to you, Marita. Keep in touch with us as well, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll come out to London.
Well, we're in Australia right now.
We're in Australia,
come
but-
to Sydney.
No, we're going to come to you. We're going to come to...
Yeah, come to me. I'll come to you. However we want to do it.
We'll just go everywhere together.
Let's do it. All right, sweets. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you soon.
night.
A great night for you.
Great night. Yeah.